Hello and welcome to the Catching Up podcast with Ananya and Katrina, two college friends who are doing their best to keep catching up while pursuing their goals and dreams.
In this episode, we will talk about social media. Because as Gen Z, no generation has been more influenced by its constant presence. We'll explore how consuming it nonstop affects the way we think, feel, and interact.
So, Ananya, when did you first get social media?
I think I didn't want social media at all. I was like hearing all these stories and I felt like I was so scared of social media. But then once, I think I was in seventh grade, and is seventh grade a thing in the US?
Yeah, you were like 13, maybe?
Yeah. I was like 13, and then my friends were like discussing stuff on social media, and I'm like, what are they talking about? And I felt like I was missing out. And then they're like, oh, you would never know because you're not on Facebook. And so Facebook was the first social media that I ever had. I created my email account for the first time. And then, I got the Facebook account. It was so much fun. I posted like 100 pictures right away because I'm like, everyone has so many pictures. Why do I not? And so I posted every single picture I had then. I ended up deleting that account after like 3 or 4 years. And then Instagram was a thing. And so I got on Instagram in ninth grade. And then I deleted my whole account. And then I created it again in the final year when I was going to graduate high school. Because I needed it I was contesting in my school elections and I needed it. So
Social
I
media
created
marketing.
social media again. Yes. It was very successful. It was so helpful. I think that was it played a major role in my victory. But anyway, I've always been on and off social media, and now I don't. It's been 4 months now. I don't have social media and I don't plan on getting back on it. What about you?
I didn't get Facebook for a while. I think I got it just because like family had it. But the first one I got was Instagram because people in middle school were talking about it. And I got Instagram when it was like the like brown and blue logo, like the old one. Now it's like the pink and purple and yellow, and yeah, I had the old one. I think that was the first one I got. Eventually I got Snapchat, but like my parents were kind of strict about social media compared to some other parents. Like they didn't want me to have Snapchat. Literally on Snapchat, all you do is send pictures of half of your face to everybody else. Like that's it. I eventually got Snapchat. YouTube was out, so like I grew up with like the like original YouTubers, not like the like the Mr.
That's
Beast,
cool.
whatever. Like who was it? Like Lori DIY, the like makeup girlies who like weren't like professionals. They were like high school girls doing makeup. So that, I think it was like middle school, high school is when I first got it.
When did you get your first phone?
I think it was like 10 or 11, and it was like a little cheap Android. I didn't have an iPhone until college. When did you get yours?
When I was in 10th grade, so like almost 15 years old.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Before that, were you like posting stuff on Facebook on your computer?
using my mom's phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
Did
used to
she
use
know?
my mom's phone. She did, but also it was just like super strict, and like everybody else in my family was also watching it. So it was never like a space where I could be whatever I want. And then also I didn't watch too much TV or YouTube or any social media. I used to just read books because that's how my parents liked it. And then when I
Yeah, we
got on
didn't have
social media-
cable or...
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I feel like
Yeah.
social media is like... They've made it a lot more addicting, I feel like, than it was at the beginning. Like, we
Yeah.
didn't have shorts or reels. It was just
Yeah.
pictures, and that was it. Versus now, I feel like it's hard to get away from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like there were no algorithms, and also like you only had content from people you followed. So like just your private little space, and then now like everyone can see it. And I feel like there's pressure to make your profile kind of public too. So like people who you're making friends with for the first time can just like go and see who you are and how fancy you are. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of pressures.
What is your take on making your profile public?
I
Like, do you
honestly
do that?
had no. Yeah, I always had my profile public. The second time I made an Instagram account, I always had it public. And I feel like it started with because I created that account for social media marketing. I honestly liked that how accessible I was to everyone. And so I like the idea of having it public always because I don't know, I feel like it's never safe. If you're out there, then you're just out there. So I always had
Yeah.
it public.
Yeah, I feel like I always had mine private for the most part. And like I still have mine on private. I do have one for my website business that is public. And like our Instagram for the podcast is public just because those are more for like marketing and like getting things out
Yeah.
there. But like all my personal stuff, like you don't get to see that unless you know me. Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
privacy is something that we kind of take for granted until
Yeah.
you like see people who don't have privacy anymore and like I don't want the lifestyle that they have. Like I don't want to deal with the things that they have to deal with.
Yeah, what's your take on having like multiple accounts? I know I made like at least there was a time when I had like at least five different accounts, and one was like private and one was like public, and one's for art, one's for writing, and one's for doing like other social media kind of stuff. Now that I think about it, I don't understand what was the point. But
Yeah, I like
um
having the separate audiences. So, like, in our next episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about being creators on social media, like doing this podcast and things like that. So, I like having that part separate to like my personal pictures. Like, I can post things on my personal account that I don't necessarily want going on my business account. And my personal account is private. And so, like, I can post pictures of like us doing fun things and stuff like that that aren't necessarily professional enough to be on my other accounts.
that makes sense. So what's your take on social media consumption? Sorry.
It is good and bad. I I don't know. It's like the information that's out there is like information that before social media and before the internet we probably wouldn't have had access to, and I do feel like I get a lot of like cool projects or like life hacks and workout advice and stuff like that from social media that is really good and that does improve my life. But I feel like the negative part is when like the algorithms come in and like try to keep you on all the time. I feel like I don't really have as much of a problem like now that I'm older with the comparison side. I know that is like a really big thing, especially when you're like in middle school, high school, and like you're younger and you're like seeing people who like look like they have their lives together and you like don't really know any better. But I feel like just like the time sink is the biggest like negative aspect of it. What do you think about consumption?
That's great because like I have so many of my friends who have turned their screens black and white so that color stimulus doesn't play an account, and so that they can limit it. So I feel like time is one of the biggest factors right now for everyone and how much time we spend on social media. For me, definitely, I quit social media because first, like, it was taking so much of my time, and I feel like there is a lot of information. There's a lot of good information, but it overweighs a lot of opinions that people throw out there and a lot of misinformation, and it was just like not sitting well with me. I didn't like it, and I also had a hard time balancing that I am not racing against them. Like every my journey is my own, and I was having a hard time with that. I always felt like I'm missing out or I need to do more when, and honestly, now that I don't have social media, I feel more comfortable living day by day and not having that pressure of just doing everything all the time. Like, sure, these people are going on a hike, but I wouldn't because I want to sleep more. I'll do that.
Yeah, I feel like the time thing is big, and then I feel like social media, from what it was originally, people like learned that they could use it for their business and they could use it for marketing. And I feel like so much social media is now just like people marketing their businesses, and like we're kind of doing the same thing. Like we will like put our reels on Instagram, and like I'll use Instagram to get like my website business out there. But I feel like it's like so much of it is just marketing and like influencing and trying to get you to buy things, and like all like the Amazon storefronts and stuff like that. Like that just like doesn't sit well with me. Like the reason I like doing this podcast is because there's like some level of like authenticity and sincerity with doing a podcast and like having an actual conversation versus like, have you seen those ads on Instagram where they're like faking a podcast and it's actually like an ad for something? Like oh my gosh, they drive me nuts.
I hate it, and I feel like that something that pisses me off a lot too, that you are throwing all these opinions out, but actually you're getting paid for it, and that's why you're doing it. And then I'm like, I don't know if I can trust you. So there's a lot of lack of trust there too.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit before this about like authenticity on social media. Do you want to like share your thoughts on that?
Firstly, the ads that you were talking about, like almost everything feels sponsored, and if not sponsored, like I feel like people are doing it with an agenda in mind to get viral, to get famous. And I feel like just that feeling is not great. And then I don't know, I feel like life has become cheap. Like it has become so cheap. There's so much about our lives. There's so many things that are not okay for other people that can be okay for you. And so like you shouldn't feel the pressure of, hey, you can't do it because this is not cool. Like all of these standards are coming because of social media. And I feel like everyone's trying to follow the same boat. I'm personally a person who would be like, oh, I don't want to put makeup on all the time. Like I am an advocate for it, and only because I'm lazy. I feel like I don't mind putting on makeup. It's just like I am so lazy that I fear like putting it on and then removing it all the time, and then I've put my lenses on. It's just like so much work, and I'm lazy, and that's why I'm like, can we all go without any makeup? And that would just like save me time. But it has nothing to do with like beauty standards, to be very honest. Like I love people in whatever way they want to present themselves, and I don't mind it. But then like social media goes on this big rant about you have to be authentic, or you have to put on makeup, and like you shouldn't judge people with makeup. And so like there are so many conflicting views. I don't know, like what am I supposed to follow?
Yeah, I feel like social media, like on one side, like lets everybody express themselves, and you get to see different opinions and like worldviews. But on the other side, like I feel like it also, because you can see a lot more of like things that you wouldn't have seen before, I feel like it also just like creates this like little mono pop culture.
Yeah. I agree. And also I feel like the algorithms are built in a way that you will see what you like, and I honestly hate it. It's like when I see content about stuff that I like, I'm so annoyed because I'm like, other people are seeing that too, and then it's not mine anymore. Like that music, that movie, like that book, it was like mine, something that's my safe space that I go to, and then realizing that there are all these other people who are going to consume it too, and then also like there are people who didn't even care about it, and then now it's their favorite song or favorite book or favorite thing to do. I hate it. Very possessive.
They're copying you.
yeah, I'm very possessive.
You want to gatekeep it.
I want to gatekeep everything, and I I was like it was very unsettling the last few weeks on social media when I was there. And I was just like, I don't like anything about it. Like, I don't want to hear about these different hacks or information. I started reading news more regularly. I started watching YouTube videos. I started watching movies on Netflix, like the real documentaries. And I feel like they have been so much more resourceful, and I feel so much more intellectual. And I don't feel cheap because I feel like if you know something through social media, everyone kind of does. And so I don't want to know about it. I'm not going to do it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you deleted social media. What do you like replace that with? Because I feel like I have a brick, which is like the little NFT, not NFT. The what are they called? The little tags that you. Is it? It's not an NFT.
Brick.
What is it?
I think brick is a popular one.
Yeah. What are the tags called? It's not NFC. Is it NFC?
God, no idea.
I don't know. It's like it's a thing you tap your phone against, and it turns your social media or whatever apps you want off.
Yeah.
So I've been using that, but I feel like even when everything is locked, I still will just like scroll through my like home pages to try to find something, and I don't have anything like unlocked. And so I feel like I have a hard time replacing, I guess, like the dopamine or whatever it is that I get from the social media with something else. So, like, do you have something that you replace that with that works for you?
I think I did that a couple times, that I scrolled through my phone and I'm like, what can I use or consume? And then there was just this news app. So I kind of read news like twice a day now because I want to use my phone. But to be honest, I've started reading a lot. I've started doing nothing a lot too, which I felt was so important, and I wasn't doing it. Like, people go crazy when they have nothing to do, and I feel like it has just changed my life, being okay with not doing anything. Like, it has taught me more patience. Like, when I'm somewhere and like things are not on time and they're being delayed, I have patience to just sit because I know how to sit with myself. What do you do when you have your no social media time?
I feel like right now I'm trying to build up that website business, and so I do a lot of that. I feel like a lot of my free time is just like, actually a lot of my time in general, just like with work and everything, is spent on screens. And I'm like trying to move away from that a little bit. Like, I can't, there's no way to move away from it 100% because that's just the way life is now. But I think I need something to like fill that dopamine space, and I'm like still trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah. I feel like you've always been good about it. I was somebody who was a victim of social media. I would agree that I have dressed up just to look good on social media. I have traveled just so that I can post on social media. And then when I like analyzed it all, I'm like, this is not me. This was never me. Like, I can't do it. And so like, this time when I last week I went to Joshua Tree with my friends, and funny enough, I was wearing my PJs because I didn't care, because I'm like, I'm not going to post anywhere. Nobody's going to see me. And so my authentic style, the PJs came out. And then also I was like much more focused on traveling and like exploring and sitting with nature than like, oh, I need to take good pictures all the time. And then when I saw other people doing it, like, I was literally giggling. I'm like, oh, poor you.
Yeah, I feel like once you post enough, like posting pictures for social media or like doing this, like creating some kind of content, I feel like it just like removes the veil of what you think all these creators' lives are like, because you like see all the perfect stuff, and then you like realize that you can recreate it, and you're like, oh, they're just like me. They just like don't post.
And it's always so embarrassing
stuff,
too,
like,
when there's like a big queue, because like people want to take picture that of that waterfall, but I can just zoom in and take a picture of that waterfall without me in it, and it's still as pretty and perfect. If I want to show someone like, hey, I went there and this was so beautiful, I can still share it, and it's okay if I'm not in that picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Has consumption ever negatively affected you? Because all this time I'm hearing you've had it quite in control.
Um, I mean, yes, like, I think time has been the biggest thing. Like, I've probably spent months of my life on social media at this point, and so that's why I got the brick to, like, help with that. I would say it's balancing, we'll get into this more maybe in the next episode, but, like, balancing creating and consumption. Like, I don't want to consume that much, but I do have to have things, like, unlocked and open to create, you know?
Yeah.
So that's something I need to work on. But I would say time has been the biggest negative impact.
Do you think your relationships have been affected because of all these social media trends, or how perfect pictures they portray on social media with your partner, with your friends, and or people pleasing?
I would say relationships probably not. Like, generally, like, I only, on my personal, only really keep up with people who I am friends with.
You're very
like, who
ahead
I
of
went to
me.
high school with, who I went to college with. I'll follow, like, some creators, but in terms of, like, personal relationships, the people that I like, let follow me are people I already have a personal relationship with. So I would say, like, no matter, like, what their feed looks like, I already know them as a person, and so that it doesn't really affect that relationship. But I could see, like, if you follow a lot of people or have a lot of followers who are not that close to you, like, then it could be an issue. Do you feel like it's affected your relationships at all?
Um, I don't know, honestly. I don't know, but I feel like I'm much more present now that I don't have it. And I feel like it kind of did.
That's true.
And that's why I feel much more present. And I feel like on social media, because you have all of these people following you and they're always commenting on your posts and stuff, you're like, oh, we're such good friends. But in reality, you barely know anything about them. Like, you only know about good moments in their life, and that's barely knowing them, because life's always up and down. And so I feel like without social media, I have these real friends who still try to maintain contact with me, and they go all out, and like they visit me, and like every once we're doing these hour-long video calls, and I never did that when I had social media, because they knew everything about my life, and now they don't. Like, I like show them my gallery, we get on FaceTime together, and then we screen share and stuff. So I feel like it's like completely different. I feel much more connected and present. I can also share when I'm sad. Like, when you're actually getting on a call, you can share about your sad parts too. But like, if you're just texting on social media, hey, such a cute picture, it's like, hey, thank you, I love you, I miss you.
Yeah, I feel like on social media, it's like this weird line between being authentic, but also, like, if you post something too sad, then you're, like, seeking attention.
Yeah.
And, like, personally, I don't want to post anything, like, I don't want to make you feel bad for me. Like, I'm only going to post the, like, cute stuff, like, it's basically like a scrapbook for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll post pictures that I like, that are cute, that I had fun in. But, like, anything else, you're not going to get on social media. So it is very much like that surface level connection. Well, this has been a good conversation about our consumption on social media, and in our next podcast, we're actually going to talk about more of the creation side, because we've been doing more of that. So we are looking forward to sharing that with you next week.